worms. We don't have eyes. We are worms. We're full of lies. We are worms. We don't despise. We are worms. We never cry. We are worms. We have one kid. That's the one policy we did. We are worms. We like to fight. And we will fight all day and all night. We are worms. We have wars. We have political crimes, of course. We are worms. It's sure. And today, you're declaring war. Thank you. Welcome to Takeover Talks. I'm Tommy. I'm your host. And I don't know how long today's episode is going to be, but I'll try to make it as long as I can. We've got some good stuff to talk about, good games to go over today. So, I'm actually really excited about today's podcast. Yesterday I was on Instagram, on my Instagram account. If you don't know about it, you should go follow it, Takeover_talks. I got a lot of, well, not a lot. To me, it's a lot. I got a couple comments on one of my last posts on there about Jokic shouldn't have got the MVP this year. So I figured I'd share some of those with you. If you haven't already seen it, it's you should definitely go take a look at it. But first one by Soulfly303, just by Jokic. I got nothing for that. He should have won MVP last season. He's the GOAT. To that I responded, yes, I agree with that, but this season's a different story, and I think SGA definitely outbeat him there. We got Yap from Canderso7. You didn't name one reason why he shouldn't have won it this year. In fact, you named the reasons he should. All right. To that I say, his season wasn't enough. We'll put it that way. Yes, you could look at the numbers and argue the fact that SGA's numbers were lower than Jokic's. Yes, I agree. I also think that as a team, the Nuggets were not as good this year. They did go 2 years without losing a home game. Then they got to the Timberwolves, lost 2 games, but maybe I should stay out of this conversation because that's the postseason. Either way, I think Jokic, I feel like he was just kind of lazy this year, which, again, you could argue that, but I feel like from the past years, I saw it in Jokic. He was the first guy I picked up on my fantasy team. He was getting me points. He was good. He was a part of a championship team. This year, I think it's a different story. I think he's just kind of lollygagging around. When he finds a mismatch, then he'll take it more seriously. But other than that, I feel like it's just kind of like throw up shots or, just kind of, he just seems lazy this year to me. And I also feel like, I feel like he's just not fully in tune to the NBA. Like last year, he's like, do we have to go to the after party? I just want to go home to Serbia. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, you just won an NBA championship. But again, beside the point, personal opinion, I don't think that he should have got it this year. I think he should have got it last year, yes, but I think SGA has put up a more reflective season and a more what am I trying to say? Well balanced. He's been a better leader. Where was OKC last year? I don't even think OKC was even close to making the playoffs last year, and now they're the number 1 seed. I think half of it is because of SGA being able to lead them, and I think a big part is the coach too. He did a good job this year, but I also think the reason why SGA didn't get more attention that he did is because they didn't have as many nationally televised games, whereas the Nuggets were like, I feel like every game was, to be honest with you. But anyways, moving on. Normal Jokic self. Bro does what a point guard and a center should do together as one person. Yes, I agree, but he's also slow. Um, I think you have a point there, but I just think he's just lazy, and like why I feel like you could say the same about Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns can play like a point guard, but he shoots the three ball well. He can pass. He's a good scorer in the paint. Why isn't Cat in the MVP talk, huh? Cat's in a good team that has a good run at the championship this year. Why don't we talk about Cat, huh? But then again, I don't think Cat should have got it either way. So Jokic doesn't deserve MVP because you have voters fatigue. He obviously the best player in the league. Okay, to say he's obviously the best player in the league is quite a stretch in my opinion. That's you poor soul, you poor soul. I think he's top 5. But I do not think he's obviously the best in the league. Voters fatigue. I don't have voters fatigue. I'm not a voter. I'm a 18-year-old kid who has an opinion about who should get the MVP. I'm not. It's not like I don't think he should. Okay, I did say in this post that he's already got 3. Like, why give him a 4th? Whatever. I just don't think he wasn't the most valuable player this year. I honestly think the Nuggets, like especially with Aaron Gordon kind of sprouting out and becoming a better player that he is now, like I really feel like Denver could be still be a competing team without Jokic. I haven't really looked at the numbers or anything like that, but I still feel like the Nuggets are a good team without Jokic, and therefore I don't think he's the most valuable player to me. Whereas I think OKC really needs Shai, like even just Shai sitting on the bench, like he's just like constantly in the game, like, oh dude, you got to do this better. Chet, you got to do this. Blah blah blah. He's just constantly being a leader, and like he's just so valuable to OKC in my opinion. And I think without him, OKC would still be out of the playoffs. So, yeah, this kid comes from the participation trophy era. Um, I don't know that that's true. I don't believe in participation trophies at all. I think they're stupid. I think, I have some other words for that trophy, but I will leave them out. But yeah, I thought these comments were hilarious to me. I had quite a laugh reading them. So, yeah, if you have differing opinions, please comment them down below. I will happily read them on the next podcast. And then I have a couple Instagram posts that I'd go over. This one's a good one actually. How do I turn the sound on? I can't click the sound button. Oh well, it's pretty much just about so what's the quote that he said? He said the pretty much like the reward you're searching for is in the work that you don't want to do. And I think we should all like I know this is like such a lame topic to talk about, but I honestly think like I've been struggling to get out of bed this week, and I just have to find a reason to get out of bed. And so the gym has actually been helping me a lot. So like I'll go to the gym. I usually go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but this week I was just like, dude, I have to get out of bed and do something. And so I let's see, it's Friday. So I went Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then I was supposed to have basketball last night, but we didn't have enough players, so that got canceled, and I didn't really do anything last night. So I feel like yesterday was kind of wasted. But I really do think like the reward we're searching for is in the work that we just don't feel like doing. And so if you're listening to this, if you've made it 10 minutes into the podcast, I suggest that if you really want that thing that you're searching for, I think you need to find more ways that you can achieve it and go do it. Action is the main part of the problem. Like, if you can think about it all day, you can dream about it, blah 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 blah. But if you don't take action, if you don't do something with it, then you're not gonna go anywhere. You're not gonna do anything with it. So that was just a good quote I saw. These shoes, I am dying for Anthony Edwards' low shoe to come out. I do like his mid shoe, but I just think the lows look so much. They just look better. But these ones he wore in last night's game are freaking sick, dude. Like, I would probably either get these, and I like the I think they're called With Love, the like the bright orange kind of peachy color. I want either those or these gray ones in the lows. But I keep looking it up, and the lows say, "Oh, they'll come out summer. They'll come out summertime." Dude, just release them already, bro. I want them so bad. What else? Oh, this I actually found pretty interesting. So I mean, I don't know if it's just based off this, but Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they've actually moved their next couple of games, from some like small 4,200 seated arena to the crypto arena. Yeah, right here. May 26th versus Wings, June 5th versus the Lynx moved 4,200 seat Mike and Arline Walter Pyramid to 20,000 seat Crypto Arena. So I'm not a huge into the WNBA thing, but I think this is pretty great. I think this is awesome. I mean, I don't. I think people should watch the WNBA more, including myself. Um, One thing is I'm not really following the schedule right now because I'm just too into the NBA playoffs right now. But their season just started, so after the playoffs, this might be what I go to. I'm not gonna lie. And I think Caitlin Clark's been doing good. I think actually they got blown out in their last game, but it is what it is. After game 6, Anthony Edwards said this to the Denver staff, all like the people in the back, and I thought it was hilarious. So let's see. Yeah, dude, that's what I love to see. By the way, this post is by Sports Center and two others. I don't know, just for crediting purposes. But dude, Anthony Edwards, dude, this guy is hilarious. I freaking love Anthony Edwards right now. He's like, but like, I'll talk about Game 6 later on. But yeah, I just love Anthony Edwards right now. This post is just about the Lakers, and they're interviewing a bunch of people for a new head coaching position. Like I said before, they were looking at Ty Lue, but I think Ty Lue's actually going to stay with the Clippers. He also has another year on his contract, so they'd have to find someone this year anyways. Oh, I didn't even read the first comment. They should have kept Darwin Ham. I do agree with that. Oh yeah, I forgot about JJ Redick. JJ Redick was actually he was looking for a head coaching job as well. I also heard rumors about Michael Jordan looking to be the Lakers' next head coach. I thought that would just be stupid. I think that would ruin Michael Jordan's reputation, to be honest with you. But yeah, so New Orleans, James Borrego, Denver's David Adelman, Boston's Sam Castle, Miami's Chris Quinn, and Minnesota's Micah Nori. So they got 5 people to interview, which, I mean, it's probably going to be one of those 5, to be honest with you, but anything can happen. Those are just your top 5 prospects, I guess, for their coaching. This one I thought was a sick post because, like, this is actually like this is a good question because Anthony Edwards is a young guy. He's got a lot left in his career. He's he's just kind of sprouting into his real true self. Kyrie Irving, though, he's still going, dude. He's like 32, 33 years old, and that he's still cooking. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of mad that he didn't play like this on the Nets because I think they could have had something on the Nets. But on the Mavs, dude, he is cooking on the Mavs. This was his game-winning floater against Denver. I think this is like I think these are the two plays left in the moment of the year. I think we're voting. I'm not sure, but yeah, Kyrie Irving's floater is one of them, and then obviously Ant's poster against the Jazz is the other one. Goodness gracious. That is just beautiful. I actually changed my phone wallpaper to this. I also find it funny that he dislocated his finger. He like jammed it in John Collins' eye and had to, you know, he just ran to the locker room. Let's see. Oh yeah. This is a good video. Okay, I don't watch NHL. I don't watch WNBA. But to me, I think that's kind of crazy that the Fever Suns game had more viewers than the Bruins Panthers. And I actually know, like, I feel like I know a lot of people that like the Panthers, but that doesn't really matter. But their game was also on ESPN too. So I feel like they had to like try even hard. I mean, obviously, coming from me, I personally would rather watch a basketball game than NHL. But I also think NHL is very interesting. I just sometimes I'll go on YouTube and just watch like the hardest hits in NHL or best fights or whatever. But I do think this is actually kind of crazy. I think Caitlin Clark is changing the game for the WNBA. I think for some reason she's just gained a ton of traction, and even if she doesn't turn out to be a good player in the WNBA, like I still think she should be put in the Hall of Fame just because the impact she's put on the viewership and everything for the WNBA. Yeah, like I just said. But I'm not even going to show the rest of this video, but she had a record-setting night. She had the most turnovers in a WNBA debut with 10. Not the record you want to be setting. Not the record you want to be setting in your first WNBA game. I am not going to lie. I do feel bad, but I feel like it's just one of those welcome to the WNBA kind of things. So, that's pain to see. They also lost by 21, so I feel bad. But this post, Eric Gordon was banned from team dinner. So Eric Gordon got banned from team dinners right after game 2. Right after game 2, the Nuggets won 3 in a row. Is Eric Gordon the problem? Is Eric Gordon the problem? I don't know. But I kind of find that hilarious. Like, you know, maybe he's the reason. I'm not sure, but I also feel like I don't know what goes on at team dinners, so I don't know how big of an impact that is. But oh man, this has been a good series. We'll get into that in a sec, but it's been a good series. And then this post, like literally half a second gesture, 75K down the drain. Just a little half second down the drain, 75K. To him, not a lot. To other people, that's a year's salary. Just saying. NBA mock draft 2. I'm gonna get in that real quick. This is just a post about like I don't know if this is like a legit NBA thing. I just saw it, thought I added on here. But anyways, mock draft. So, oh shucks. Maybe I should hide this real quick. All right, here we go. Back to share. Okay. Atlanta Hawks. 3% chance to get the number 1 pick, and they did it. So with that, they're projected to pick up Alex Sarr, yet again, another French guy. 19 years old. Big man. I think the Hawks still have Clint Capella. I don't really know how Clint Capella is going to be doing. I mean, I think he's kind of past his era. I'm not going to lie. So I think Alex Sarr could be a good pickup for the Hawks. Nice to have another big man, or maybe even just a new starting big man. I'm not sure. But I've watched some things with Alex Sarr, and I mean, yes, he's only 19. He's just coming out of whatever college. I don't know. But I think he's definitely got some things to improve on. But I think Atlanta could really use a new big man on their team. I also think a forward would be nice. Which Alex Sarr does play power forward as well. So him and Clint Capella could run the front court. Wait, I feel stupid. I feel like I need to look at their roster because I actually don't know if Clint Capella is still on their team. Let's see, center. Yeah, okay, Clint Capella is still on their team. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't, retarded. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that word. Sorry. I take that back. Not retarded. Wasn't all there. How about that? Anyways, I do think Alex Sarr would be good. I think he needs to work on his 3-ball. I just think that's part of how bigs need to play their game. You look at bigs today, and they 90% of bigs know how to shoot 3-ball. So, I think he needs to work on that. I think what else does it say? Yeah, sharpen his 3-point and speed up to the NBA speed, stuff like that. Don't know who that is. I feel like I should know who this is, but I don't. And then Rob Dillingham. I think Rob Dillingham was in my top 5 favorite players in college basketball last year. I loved watching Rob Dillingham. He's just such a shifty guard, and I just love watching Rob Dillingham. To be honest with you, I think he played in Overtime Elite. I don't know how long he played in Overtime Elite, but he had some good clips in there. But yeah, he literally he just plays like a street ball guard. He doesn't. I feel like he doesn't really think too much of how this play is going to go out or anything. He just kind of goes in freestyle and just does it. And so I think that's good about him. He's projected to go to the Spurs. I think the Spurs do need another. I think the Spurs need to work on building their backcourt up. Rob Dillingham, I'm not sure how that would work. Just the Spurs have such a young team, so I don't know about that. I think if Rob Dillingham and Wembanyama can pick up a good connection, good chemistry, I think that would be a fun. That combo would be such a good combo in the NBA to see. Just a shifty freestyle guard with this lanky alien center. It's just perfect, to be honest. All they need is experience now. So, to be honest, don't know who that is. Donovan Clingan, center for UConn. He has a good NCAA resume. I think it's smart of him to go in the draft. I'm honestly surprised he's not like 4 or 5, top 4 or 5 picks, but also the Charlotte Hornets really need a big man. Wow, I forgot about the Charlotte Hornets this year. They were piss poor this year. I'm not gonna lie. So I think Donovan Clingan would be a great pickup for the Hornets this year. Nikola Jokic, not sure who that is. Looks like another. overseas guy. Dalton Connect, great player for Tennessee. He's 23 years old, so he's a little bit older than all these, freshmen that just go into the league. Dalton Connect played great last year for Tennessee. He put up a lot of points. He was a good leader for Tennessee. Tennessee had a great run last year. They made it to the Elite Eight. I honestly feel like they could have made Final Four, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think I'm honestly surprised he's not higher in this mock draft, but again, I didn't Spurs have the 8 pick too, so yeah, that would be perfect for the Spurs. If they could pick up Rob Dillingham and Dalton Connect, there's your front court. You got Wemby on down low. You got the other guy with the cool hair, don't know his name. Sochan, whatever his name is. I think the Spurs might be fun to watch next year. If they can pick up both these guys, I think the Spurs might actually be fun to watch next year. I mean, the Spurs were kind of fun to watch this year too, just because of Wembanyama. But Jazz, classic nobody name pickup. I honestly feel bad saying that because it's a top 10 pick, but I don't know who Ron Holland is. Maybe I'll look into it later. Let's see. Isaiah Collier, USC. He was a good guard for USC. Don't know much about him though. Let's see who else. Zach Edey at 15. I feel like some people would argue that that's way too high. I feel like he should be like top 3, top 4. I think he should be lower. I don't think Zach Edey is really all that. I think yes, he was good at Purdue, but I don't think. I mean, I feel like the transition to NBA is just going to be hard for him. Sorry, one sec. But I mean, for him to go on the Heat, I think that's kind of good for the Heat. Go along Bam Adebayo. I feel like Zach Edey is kind of a remake of Jokic. I feel like he's more developed early on than Jokic was. But I also feel like Zach Edey is just like a totally different center compared to Jokic. What else? He did put up a lot of points in college, but I also think he's just kind of like a cheat code in college. He's just super tall, which the coaches at Purdue got mad at all the people saying like Zach Purdy's only good because he's tall. But if I'm honestly speaking, I genuinely think that's why he's good. Is because he's tall. He's big. But that would be good for the Heat to pick up a dominant person in the paint, picking up rebounds, getting those second chance points. That's exactly what the Heat need. I mean, people joke about playoff Jimmy Butler, but I think if they had Zach Edey, they could make a good run. But then again, I don't know how Zach Edey's going to transition to the NBA, so not really sure. Jared McCain to the Lakers. Man, I don't even know what to say about the Lakers. Like, I don't know what they need. I don't know what the Lakers need to do. They just need to freaking get their head out of their ass and become an actual team. Like, they literally have the best team in the league as far as player-wise. Like, how are you not getting a chip after chip after chip, dude? Like, golly. But Jared McCain was also one of those players, top 2 in my, maybe top 3 in my list for NCAA players last year. I loved him. I loved watching him in Duke in the tournament last year. I do think it's funny that he does TikToks on the side. He's got a little bit of feminine in him, but when he gets on the court, man, he's a different story. He dropped, I can't remember if it was a tournament game or not, but he dropped like 35. He had like 35, 10, and 5 or something, which I think tied the record that Zion Williamson set there at Duke for 35 points. So good scorer. He's a really good attacker. He can get to the rim, good free throw shooting. He can hit the 3. He's a really solid fundamental guard. which I'm not even going to talk about how he'd do on the Lakers because I really don't know. The Lakers are just so up in the air with how they run things. It also depends on a new coach and how they're ran there. But yeah, I can't wait to see Jared McCain in the league. I think he'd be fun to watch in the league. Furphy, Johnny Furphy. I don't know much about this guy, but I went to I went to the first and second round games for Kansas. So Kansas versus Samford and Kansas versus Gonzaga. I had bets against him that he'd score like under 11 points. He dropped like 20 both games. I'm like, this guy pisses me off. But yeah, he was a good freshman last year. Um, he played well against with Hunter Dickinson. But he's a good shooting guard forward type. Um, gets to the rack, gets those buckets. Yeah, I think he'd be fun to see in the league. Tyler Kolek, he was a great point guard for Marquette. I didn't follow Marquette a lot. I didn't follow him all that much, but I think he played really well off like pick and roll. He was good with like setting up the post, things like that. So, he could be. Who was he projected for? Nuggets. He could be a good side by side with Jamal Murray. Um, who else on here, dude? I don't think I know. Um, Ultrich Comche. Yeah, so this is a top 58, so I don't know a lot on here, but Jamal Sheed, I'm surprised he's going that low at 55 to the Lakers, but I think he played great at Houston. He was a good guard at Houston, but also like Houston was a good team. Like they're a good team. And so to say that you're a good guard on a good team, it's good. So I'm honestly kind of shocked that he's not being picked up higher. I would honestly put him higher than Jared McCain. It's kind of a stretch, but um, I think I think I think he's underrated. But yeah, Jamal Sheed, good player. Um, and then yeah, that's about it. So moving on. Oh, thoughts on Bronny James. So there's so much going on with Bronny James right now. It's not even funny. Let's see. Yes, he could definitely get into the NBA this year, like drafted. I definitely think he'd get drafted, no doubt about it. The only reason I say that is because of his dad. Literally, like, I think that's if he gets drafted, I think the majority of his dad. But I also think Bronny James is actually a really good player. I think a lot of people overlook him just because he's LeBron's kid and whatnot. But I think he's actually a good player, especially because he had like freaking heart attack last year. So he bounced back from that like with ease. So I know he averaged like 6 points with USC and everything. I do think he will make it to the league at some point. Um, but I personally believe that he should take another year in college. Because he missed quite a bit last year because of that heart thing. And so he didn't get a full season with USC. But I think if he took another year in college, played it out, and had like a good season, he could definitely be a first round pick. Not gonna lie there. I think also like I just kind of hate the fact that people overlook him because he's LeBron's son. He doesn't matter. Like he's gonna get picked anyways, whatever. But if you actually watch Bronny James, he's actually got a good set of skills. I mean, his combine was really impressive. I think he had 13 points in 21 minutes. In 5-on-5 at the combine, which is pretty good. What else? He shot the lights out at 3. His overall combine was really good, but I just think he just needs one more year to develop in college. Just one more year. Whether it's at USC or some other school, I just think he should take 1 year and just go with that. But that's my view on Bronny. I don't know what else really to say about him, but yeah, I hope for the best for him. Like I want him to succeed. I don't want him to succeed because of his dad. I want him to. I think he wants the same for himself. I think he wants to be his own player. He wants to build a name for himself. He wants to be his own guy. But it's also hard to do when you have a debatable GOAT as your dad. So, just saying. Other news: NBC bought out or outbid TNT to the rights for the media over the NBA, which, if you don't know what that means, you are an uncultured swine. But that means that the inside of the NBA is coming to an end with Shaq, Kenny, Ernie, and the Chuckster. So if we could have a moment of silence for that. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's such a rip, dude. I freaking I don't watch the inside of the NBA, but I watch a lot of their clips, and they have some funny clips on there. Like just Shaq pranking Chuck and Chuck pranking Shaq and all that stuff. It's just such a good it's a good way of combining humor with basketball, and I freaking love it. And so it actually pained me in my heart when I saw that was going to come to an end. And I actually watch a lot of videos of the best inside of the NBA moments, stuff like that, and Chuck guaranteeing stuff with his button. Man, I'm gonna miss that a lot. So I'm gonna embrace the last couple episodes while they have it. But yeah, that sucks. Another thing, kind of strolling into the playoffs a little bit. The Knicks have I don't want to say it's the Knicks podcast, but Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart have a podcast called The Roommates, and I've actually come to like the Knicks a lot more because of it. They have some funny clips on there. I actually suggest going and watching it. It's a funny podcast. They bring on Dante DiVincenzo and Isaiah Hartenstein all the time. But they just talk about funny stuff. They talk about college moments. They talk about things from them playing at Villanova and stuff like that. If you didn't know, Isaiah Hartenstein is actually half black. His dad's black, even though he's very white. So there was an episode where they talked about it. There's light skin, but he's bright skin. He actually looks white, but apparently he's black. So, it's just stuff like that. It's a funny podcast. Go listen to it. But I kind of thought about it. And I was like, if every NBA team had that, or even if half the NBA teams had a podcast like they did, I think it'd be hilarious. If the Lakers brought on LeBron and AD, D'Lo, and Reeves to a podcast, I think they could make some content out of that. But I also feel like that would ruin what the Knicks or the roommates have going. So yeah, I definitely recommend go listen to that podcast. But I actually do like that podcast though, because it's these NBA players who are they're literally in the NBA playoffs, and they're in the midst of a lot of stress, and they just come on and just talk about life and bring it all down to a personal level. And so you get to I've actually learned a lot about Jalen Brunson. I've learned about a lot about Josh Hart and his Mike and Ike's. I've learned it's just kind of cool to watch the Knicks in game 5 or whatever, and then go and watch them on a podcast the next day and talk about it. It's just kind of cool to me. So yeah, leading into the playoffs. Wow, 40 minutes already. We're making good time today. I did not think. I thought today was gonna be like a 20-minute episode. Not gonna lie, but yeah. Moving on. I saw a statistic the other day that I think House of Highlights or ESPN posted on their Instagram. It said 82% of the teams that win Game 5 win the series. And so based off that, Celtics won Game 5. They won the series. That's, 100%. Denver won Game 5. Timberwolves took it to a Game 6. I'm hoping that the Timberwolves can be in that small 18% and beat the Nuggets, which, man, that was quite the Game 6. Mavs won Game 5. Based off that, they should win the series. And the Knicks won Game 5. So, I really wanted the Pacers to win Game 5. Hold on. My throat is so dry. I really wanted the Pacers to win this series. But it's not happening. Let's be real. Going into this series, I thought the Pacers really had it. I think the Pacers really, really had a shot against the Knicks. We got through like the first 4 games, so it was 2-2, and I was like, I don't think the Pacers have it in them. And even if the Pacers won all their home games, they'd still have to win a or an away game, and an away game at Madison Square Garden. That's not happening. Sorry, not happening, folks. Especially a playoff game. Playoff game in Madison Square Garden. Not happening. So I think Knicks win Game 6. Pacers are out. That means they'll play the Celtics. So I don't know. I think Celtics could pull it off, or I think the Knicks could beat the Celtics, but Celtics are a good team. I don't know when Kristaps Porzingis is coming back, so we'll see on that. But yeah, I think the Knicks Celtics is going to be a good series. I think it's either going to be a really good series or one of them is just going to blow the other one out. So I mean, I guess those are really the only 2 options. But yeah, Cavs Celtics. I got really nothing to say about it. I think the Cavs need to look at picking up someone that can go alongside Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell, I mean, yes, the Cavs had a good game without him. They still lost, however. But man, Donovan Mitchell, like the Cavs have to have Mitchell in order to win. And even then, like it's still so difficult to win with him. And so I think the Cavs either need to find some better players, make some trades in the offseason, or just get lucky in the draft and pick someone good up and then, develop them quickly into a star player. Not likely, but Cavs are out. Moving on to the Celtics. Celtics are in the finals for the 3rd straight year. I don't know how I feel about that. I think the Celtics are a good team. They just can't finish, dude. They cannot finish the season out. Like, dude, they obviously don't want it bad enough because they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and then they just kind of lollygag it and don't care about it. What else? Thunder Mavericks. Mavericks won Game 5. I think. Let me check. Game 6 is tonight, I think. Friday. No. Game 6 is tomorrow night. So Knicks Pacers are on tonight. Game 6. Closeout game for the Knicks. It's a home game for them. So they should win that. But Thunder Mavericks. Kind of surprised. I thought the Thunder would be winning this one, but the Mavericks came back. They're up 3-2. Like I said before, they won Game 5, so they got a good chance of winning the series. I think tomorrow is their closeout game, and it would be. I think it is a home game for them. So, yeah, I hate to say that they'd win in 6, but I think the Mavericks might win in 6 here. I think. Then again, like Thunder are very unpredictable to me. So I think the Thunder could win 2 back-to-back, but hard to do. They could. I think they could take it to Game 7. Not gonna lie, but you never know. I do think the Mavericks are gonna pull out on top in this one. So that leaves the Mavericks going to the Western Conference Finals. Which when was the last time the Mavericks did that? Well, let me look this up. When was the last time the Mavericks went to the Western Conference Finals? They got there in 2022? Wait a minute, what? I guess my basketball knowledge is not as good as I thought it was. Okay, Mavericks got there in 2022, so I guess this isn't a surprise. And I guess the Thunder were in. Oh, never mind. That's talking about this year. Yeah. So, all right, the Mavericks made it 2 years ago. But yeah, I think the Mavericks have a good shot. They're a solid team. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are just a good backcourt duo. So, you know, I'm not going to be surprised when they do beat the Thunder, but I think the Thunder. It's kind of sad because I thought the Thunder were making it all the way, but I don't know. So that would leave the Mavericks versus the Nuggets or the Timberwolves. I do think the Mavericks could. I think the Mavericks could beat the Nuggets. I don't know about the Timberwolves. But I don't want to count the Thunder out already. So either way, these final 4 teams that we got in the West are 4 teams that really deserve it. So, yeah, and then I guess moving on to Game 6 of the Timberwolves Nuggets. Man, was this I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. Like, the only thing that I can think of that game was an absolute shit show. That's all I got. Reigning champs, and you're gonna lose to 45. You're gonna lose by. It wasn't just like a end game sprout. It was all game. Nuggets started off 9-2, and then Timberwolves went on a 20-0 run. 22-9. Sorry. Like, that's just unacceptable. 20-0 run? Really? 20-0 run. And then, it really just went downhill from there. But if you didn't watch that game, Anthony Edwards really showed he really showed leadership in that game. Like, I think whether it was him that went to the line or a teammate or even someone on the other team, like he was like, I just kind of watched him, and every single time he's like, "Hey, Rudy, you got to do this. You got to be there. You got to switch this guy. Like, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Cat, you need to do this. You got to do this." And he was just like on top of it the whole game. And I was really surprised. He was especially getting after Rudy Gobert. My goodness, that guy, like, I don't know what his deal is, but the regular season, he's a great defender. He's a good defender. We get to postseason, and all the brain cells just fade away, and he has no idea what the hell to do. I mean, Jokic is just cooking him. There's nothing you can do about it. Jokic is the father of Rudy Gobert. Plain and simple. Jokic is the father of Rudy Gobert. And I think that's the Timberwolves' main problem. The past 3 games before Game 6 was Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert can't hit free throws. He's been sucking on defense this postseason. And I feel like he's just slow in the head. Like, he had a kid, and now he's just like in La La Land, like just not doing a thing. But I feel like the Timberwolves should have noticed this earlier, but they switched the matchup of Gobert on Jokic to Cat on Jokic, and then they just switched Naz Reid and Cat in and out, and those two were able to put up good defense against Jokic. Jokic still had 22 points, but I think that was the biggest I think that was a really big factor in why the Timberwolves were able to win this game. And so it pains me to say this as a kind of a Jazz fan. I'm from Utah. I wouldn't say I'm a Jazz fan, but I kind of have to be, Um, it just pains me to see Rudy playing so bad. Like it really does. Um, but yeah, so it was first quarter was 31-14. Um, so the Nuggets started off 9-2, and then the Timberwolves went on a 20-0 run, and I think that was with 6 or 7 minutes left of the first quarter. In the rest of those 6 to 7 minutes, they got 5 points. 5 points in 7 minutes is ridiculous. And then it was pretty even in the second quarter, 28-26. Third quarter, Timberwolves won by 6, 27-21, and then it was another 20-point blowout in the fourth quarter, 29, and the Nuggets had 9 points in the fourth quarter, that's just not acceptable. Not acceptable in the Western Conference semifinals. Like that's just not okay. They had 70 points. 70 points total that game. It was 115-70. That is ridiculous to hold the reigning champs to 70 points in the freaking set. Like I just don't even know what to say. Like that's just not even like it's not even worth talking about. Like 45 points, you're going to lose to 45 points. Like that's just ridiculous. Jamal Murray only had 10 points. Like this is the plus minus for the starters. Aaron Gordon, minus 27. Michael Porter Jr., minus 28. Jokic, minus 25. Jamal Murray, minus 32. Caldwell Pope, minus 24. Jokic was 9 for 19. Jamal Murray was 4 for 18. Oh my goodness. You can't go 4 for 18 in the playoffs. You can't, dude. Anthony Edwards had a plus 43. He dropped 27. Jaden McDaniels had 21. Let's see. Cat had a double-double. 10 and 13 rebounds. Conley put up 13. Nasri had 10, but those were 10 impactful points, might I add. He was 4 for 12. That could be better. 0 for 3 from 3-point. He had 11 rebounds as well. Cat had 13 rebounds. Gobert had 14 rebounds. I'm not sure. I want to say it was Reggie Miller. Might have been someone else, but I think it was Reggie Miller that said, well, it doesn't matter who said it. The freaking, it was 62-43 in rebounding. 62 rebounds to 43. That is absolutely ridiculous. Defensive rebounds, they put up 51 defensive rebounds, the Timberwolves did, versus the 10 offensive rebounds that the Nuggets were able to pull down, which I don't think Jokic had a single offensive rebound until the second half or second quarter. And then he got 4 quick ones. So, but yeah, I think the Timberwolves have found the key to their success is switch Rudy Gobert on Jokic to Cat or Naz Reid. Both played great defensively on him. And then just grab the rebounds. Let's see, Anthony Edwards, he only had 4. But either way, I think rebounding and second chance points is really what it comes down to. But I also think that defensive switch is a really key factor to that. And I think that's really all I got for the playoffs. Sadly, I am going to be out of town next week, so there will be no podcasts on Tuesday or Friday next week, but we will swing right back into it that next Tuesday. So, I mean, we got a lot of games to cover then. So if I don't see you for a whole week, we got Knicks Pacers game 6, Thunder Mavericks game 6, Timberwolves Nuggets game 7, Pacers Knicks if necessary game 7, Thunder Mavs if necessary, Game 7, and then we're already into the um, conference finals. So it's Tuesday will be the Celtics Game 1. Game 2 is Thursday. Game 3 is Saturday. So I guess it'll be maybe about the same that we've been having, but yeah, I'm sorry I'm going to Alaska. I'm fishing. I'm gonna have a good time with my uncles and my dad. So sorry about that. I want to give a shout out to my boy Keontae George. My friends have been begging him to come on the show. I DM'd him. So if you see this post on Instagram or you watch this podcast, go on one of my recent Instagram posts, tag Keontae George, tell him to come on the show, and we're gonna try and get Keontae George on the show. Also, I want to mention this is the last thing for the show. LeBron got a new side hustle for the off season, and he's actually working for one of my good friends, Parker. He was able to hire him as a maid for like dirt cheap. I think he's paying him like $2.50 an hour, $2.50 an hour to be his maid. But my friend Parker was actually able to buy him his own outfit for the job as a maid, and he actually looks pretty stunning. Oh, come on, load. There you go. So yeah, that's LeBron's new offseason job. I'm actually surprised that he took the job, getting paid $2.50 an hour. But I think he just needs to humble himself throughout the offseason. Work his way down back to like a maid status. Get his humility back, and then he'll be ready to go for next season. But anyways, that's it for this show. Today was a long one. I'm actually surprised we made it to an hour. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you made it to this point, I thank you so much for listening. And we will see you in about a week and a half. So this has been Takeover Talks with Tommy. And we will see you guys later. Peace.